Well, hello there and welcome back to the Hull City Fan Central YouTube channel, where today I do bring another little bit of sad news. If you didn't see my video from about 5-10 minutes ago, I am reporting on some of the departures from Hull City as I finally got round to it. Tyler Smith is the next departure I'll be announcing. Yes, he is leaving the club after a few years in East Yorkshire. It's been a bit of a sad time, I think, for Tyler Smith. Yeah, he did score that goal against Everton at home in the FA Cup in the third minute or something like that, which was probably one of his key outstanding points, certainly from last season, if not his entire tenure at the club. But then the second half of the season, he has spent that out on loan, which I don't think that decision was wholly justified. Certainly not at this moment in time, considering that we played pretty much that entire last half of the season without a prominent striker, pretty much without a striker who was playing a false nine in some senses, with a lot of our strikers being injured. And it would have been nice to see Tyler Smith taking a bit more of a commanding role, and maybe we would have seen him remain at the club throughout that moment, but didn't happen. We don't really blame Liam. We don't really blame anyone for that. It's just one of them things. We do have a lot of strikers sort of on the payroll, and a few that we need to get rid of if we want to bring in some more prominent strikers, some more goal-scoring strikers, rather than what I want to call dead wood, but I wouldn't call Tyler Smith dead wood by any stretch of the imagination. So through his couple of years at the club, last season and this season, I believe, was his only 2 seasons, 2021 to 2022 and 22 to 23. Yes, 2 seasons with the Tigers. Last season, obviously, he did sort of do that split thing with Tom Eaves. Yeah, it wasn't really a good season for the club, full stop. But it was more of that building block ready for this season that's just been. For scoring 5 goals during his 39 appearances for the club in all competitions, I think that is... it's okay for what we was asking from him. He came into the club as sort of a little bit of a nippier striker. Obviously, we didn't see too much of that through his time at the club. Obviously, I don't think he was utilised the best that we could have used him. Having some not so great managers during that time didn't really help his scenario. But we would have liked to see more from Tyler Smith. I certainly would have. I think that he wasn't utilised to the best that we could have used him. We've seen him at other clubs. I mean, we saw him at Oxford United on loan for the second half of the season. Of course, he didn't play too much there, but he was used in a little bit more of that playmaking style, which I think kind of suits him, rather than being sort of the goal-scoring partner of the attacking department. So yeah, it's a disappointing loss, I think. I think it's one that's needed if we want to see a new wave of this Hull City attacking coming in, especially with Oscar and Benjamin Tete looking to remain fit for next season and remain at the club, and then also bringing in a couple of new attacking prospects. Of course, we do have a few of the academy lads that could possibly tinker their way into the senior team. So it is looking forward for that Hull City forwards, but I don't think Tyler Smith was really seen to be a part of this. It's probably why he went on loan to sort of test out the waters, see if he could produce something to be worthy of the starting 11 for Hull City, or even on the bench. He didn't really produce anything. I don't think he got any goals whilst he was on loan at Oxford. So it is an unfortunate time for him. It's looking forward, though, for the Hull City attack sense, with sort of getting rid of a few of the dead wood. Of course, it's just a loose term, that. And bringing in sort of a new wave of the attackers. We have been linked with a few key attackers within Europe, a few that people would not suspect Hull City of being linked with, or certainly trying out there and going to grab. So we'll see what produces in this in the attacking department of the club in the next few months before season starts. But for right now, we say goodbye to Tyler Smith after his mediocre, I'll say, couple of years in East Yorkshire. Make sure you like and subscribe, as I will have plenty more Hull City news and content coming out in the coming hours, possibly, certainly days, if not weeks, if not months, if not years, as we move into the transfer window with a few of these attacking prospects coming in to the club. So I'll see you then.